It's Valentine's Day in the month of love. Hi, I'm Barbara Ann Shepherd, your personal mastery coach. So, every single day, we need to love ourselves in some way. We need to self care. We need to say, this is my time. This is where I recharge and how I recharge. Now, for some of us, we pack our days. And so we're constantly saying, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time. When in reality, all we're saying is, I'm not a priority. And that is something we need to shift back to. Recently, I've been kind of on Facebook because I have to admit, I loved myself last week. I was having some health problems last week. So I kind of mentally checked out and self-cared and really kind of looked at my own life, at the way I'm walking through it, the way I'm thinking through it, where my mindset is at, where I'm at physically. I had to take that time to love myself. And I was blessed to have an awesome conversation yesterday with my neighbor, and we got talking about things, and she goes, I feel like a horrible person, but I've never been in love with somebody else. And in that moment, it really kind of clicked. We're never in love with someone else. We love someone else, though the only person we can ever really be in love with is ourselves, because we live within our own body, right? So, when you think of it that way, yes, there are variations of love. This is Valentine's Day, or here in the US, we sometimes say Galentine for those single ladies who get together and just hang out with their friends today. It's not always about couples when it comes to love. Friendship is a form of love. Giving a smile to a stranger as they're walking towards you is a form of love. There's different shades of it. So, loving yourself should be your number one priority. Then your second priority will be whether that's your family, God, your business, money, whatever it is for you, then go for it. But your number one priority is you, due to the fact that you can't pour from an empty cup. When your tanks are empty, you cannot give, serve, love, or do anything else for anyone else. So we must love ourselves. We must give that love to ourselves. We must be in love with ourselves so much that we realize that we are the best version of ourselves right now, no matter what has come before. It's already in the past. We need to let it go. And sometimes we have to love ourselves enough to sit with those emotions until they fade. When somebody wrongs us, we need to just kind of vent it out in a way, sit with those emotions and go, why am I feeling this way about this? Because 9 times out of 10, what we're feeling is a habit or a pattern or a rhythm that we've just fallen into because we think we've been wronged. We think the way this thing has been, when in all actuality, it might not have been that way. But how many of us are afraid to go ask? That I've had relationships in the past with friends where they've kind of walked away and it was like never really knew why, though I was giving them the space to decide if that was really what, and I would touch base periodically, and one of those people actually said, hey, this is why, and they gave it to me. And I'm not going to say why, only because that's our story. Though it was interesting because what I thought was not what she thought. And so we have to communicate as well. And that's also a form of love. When we communicate, we're loving ourselves enough to say, hey, these are my boundaries. And we do need boundaries. We need to say, this is as far as I can go in this moment. I can only love so much before I have to say, I'm sorry. I've done the best that I can. Now it's up to you. That's also a form of love. We have to let go of the things that don't serve us in this moment. That doesn't mean that the person won't become enlightened or awakened or however you want to say it, or just change enough where you can drift back together. I've had a lot of relationships that way where we're kind of like drift apart. We've both changed, but then we come back together going, oh, now we're back on the same page again. Love is a wonderful thing, and we need to remember that we are the number one priority and not get wrapped up so much in everyone else's agenda. It was something I realized last week. I was resentful and frustrated because of my own husband's schedule, because now he's working from home and he's in the basement, which means where I used to be able to make as much noise as I wanted to on the main floor because he was upstairs and wouldn't hear it, that no longer applies. So there's certain things I can no longer do during the day or I have to leave the house to do them, such as a workout. Because I do make a lot of noise because I'm a dancer when I work out. And so I have to change my schedule. And I was being resentful of that. And I was letting that color everything. I wasn't loving myself enough to say, well, it's okay. I get to figure out how to add this into my schedule. So I now know at least Monday through Friday, I have to do evening workouts, which most of the time is okay. Though I was letting that feeling of resentfulness get in the way of my enjoyment of my own workouts or whatever else I was doing. Also slightly resentful of my daughter's schedule because she does not like riding the bus. So I have to take her and bring her back. And most of the time I'm okay with that, because especially in the afternoon, because I can go sit and I can take a book with me and I read for about a half hour. It's my reading time. Yeah, I was feeling that frustration of, oh, I can't schedule stuff during this time. I can't do, so focused on the can't part that I wasn't loving myself with the I can part. So take a look today and figure out, where are you being frustrated, angry, even disappointed in some of the things that you're thinking and doing because you're not loving yourself. And because we're so ingrained in a habit or a routine or a rhythm of our days, that we're not looking at a different solution. And that's the blessing of having someone else looking in at times. That's when you need that mentor, that business coach, your personal mastery coach, to help you find those rhythms, eliminate the stuff that you don't need, give yourself a great rhythm of thinking, mindset, and being able to design your own warrior lifestyle. We have to have grace, we have to have love, and we have to have honesty. Those are the big three. We need to have all of those to be able to have an awesome life. So join me February 23rd at 11 a.m. Central for the 7 Secrets to Becoming a Graceful Warrior, because I would totally love to help you design your own warrior lifestyle so that you can love everything about your life and yourself. Register now, and I'll see you then.